Today, we're discussing a critical issue that affects us all. As always, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's request to the National Assembly for approval of $21.5 billion and 22.2 billion euros in foreign loans. This proposal has sparked intense debate, and we want to hear from you. With Nigeria's debt profile already standing at 144.67 trillion naira, which is equivalent to $94.23 billion as of December 2024, the president's request would push the country's debt burden to 162.025 trillion naira. But what's the justification for this massive borrowing, and how will it impact the lives of ordinary Nigerians? That is a huge question that we need an answer to. The president argues that the loans will fund priority projects in infrastructure, agriculture, health, education and security aimed at reducing poverty, creating jobs and boosting food security. However, critics are concerned about the increasing debt burden and its potential consequences. Under President Tinubu's administration, Nigeria's public debt has jumped by 56.6 trillion naira from 87.379 trillion naira in June 2023 to 144.67 trillion naira in December 2024. This significant increase raises questions about the effectiveness of the loans and their impact on the economy. We want to hear your thoughts on this critical issue. What do you think about the president's loan request? How do you think it will affect the economy and your daily life? Share your views with us or call us now on the numbers displayed on your screen. Send us a WhatsApp message so that we can read out your thoughts. Call us. We want to hear from you. And the question is it, should I say, justified borrowing this $21.5 billion as well as $2.2 billion in foreign loans due to the fact that the loans keep piling up? It keeps piling up and piling up. And then at the end of the day, we do understand that at a point, Nigeria has paid the $3.4 billion loan that the IMF is owing in Nigeria. But then we still have a lot of outstanding loans, but we'll want to hear from you. We have a caller on the line. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Yes. Thank you for joining us. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Good morning.
Abasekon from Gombe State.
Good morning, Abasekon.
From Gombe State.
Good morning. How is Gombe today?
Well, we are very fortunate. We had a series of rain yesterday, and today we are in a cool weather.
All right, that is great. So let us have your thoughts.
Yes, sincerely speaking, the topic for today is a very difficult one. Tinubu seek approval for additional 2.2 billion foreign loans. You see, you can't really blame Tinubu, even though he collects. Why? The problem started just back in during Obasanjo regime. So that is the nucleus of our problem. Because one, they initiated first tax 77. And that first tax 77 brought a lot of problems into Nigeria. Why do I say that brought problems? Because most of the culture of other countries, the influx of culture of other countries were brought into Nigeria. And then those cultures, some were not real cultures, some were, all these culture that have to do with worshiping of idols. And they were all brought into this country. And right from that time, we started having problems. So, sincerely speaking, I'm not blaming Tinubu. And when you look at the last regime, they came, no focus, only wanted to collect power. And after collecting power, they started borrowing. And look at Tinubu, he's doing I am not an APC, I'm PDP, but I'm telling you the truth. This man he has Nigeria at heart. Look at the corrupt people. He is removing them. If not, last dispensation, can you have those houses peace? 730 something houses peace? Tinubu is really trying. Now, this is just what I have to say. The best of a man is still in a man. No matter how wonderful a man is, no matter how beautiful a man is, he still has nucleus of failure in him.
All right, I think that is all we have from Abasinko today. He said this is the culture of borrowing in Nigeria, so he's just joining the bandwagon. But then at the end of the day, when you look at it, the question still stands: how does the everyday Nigerian get impacted by those loans that are being borrowed, that are being gotten from international organizations either, or any other place?
Okay, I think we have another caller. Hello, good morning. Thank you for calling in. What's your name and where you calling from?
Good morning, Press TV. How are you? How are you, ladies? Beautiful ladies in the studio. Abubakar calling from Bagudu. There's no basis for Nigeria collecting more loans. It is about utility, how we utilize the resources and manage it well. We have more than enough. Nigeria is richly endowed country. There's no basis of Nigeria for collecting loans from any country. We have more than enough resources to combine our resources and mobilize our people, empower our people adequately. We are good to go. And those countries that are known for collecting, they have a perfect bureaucracy. The bureaucracy of collecting loans, you must ensure that it is well utilized. You provide social services, you empower your people, the youth are well trained, they receive a good education, you empower your people in all aspects of national life. Then you utilize the loans properly. But in the case of Nigeria, and they told us before this time around, that with the removal of subsidies, there's no basis of us going back to collecting any loan. APC government assure us this during the last administration of Buhari government. The mouthpieces of APC, then Mulai Mohammed, told us that if they remove subsidies, they will have humongous resources to build refineries, to build infrastructure, to stop collecting loans. Why are we going back to the loan? With the subsidy removal, the Nigeria president is the richest African president. But instead of using the gains of subsidy removal, is busy empowering the state governors. The state governors are secretly rich as we are talking now, and the downtrodden masses are living in abject poverty, hunger, and penury. It is calamity. Most of the laws are being used for political purposes, not for infrastructural or significant economic growth. That is my take. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Abubakar from Kaduna.
From Gwagwalada.
From Gwagwalada, sorry. Thank you so much, Abubakar from Gwagwalada, for sharing your thought. And, you know, getting loans, it's not a bad idea, you know, just like what Abubakar said. But the most important thing is, are you utilizing that loan?
Is it justified?
Exactly. Is it justified? Look at infrastructure, look at education, look at the health sector in the country. It is very, very important that these loans are being utilized.
I believe we have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Yes, good morning. Thank you for joining us on Daybreak.
Good morning, Hauwa. This is Shatima calling from Maiduguri.
Good morning, Shatima. Thank you for joining us. How is Maiduguri this morning?
Maiduguri is okay. Maiduguri school. We have a partial rainfall yesterday.
All right.
Maiduguri school.
All right, that's great. Can we hear your thoughts on this issue?
Honestly speaking, this issue, we will contribute, but out of anger. Because this loan, it will not help us. It will only help the leaders. As my elder brother was saying, Abashe, that had become a culture. This is true. If they borrow, it still go to their own pocket. We are not seeing anything on ground. We know that borrowing, as the judge caller said, is not a crime. But if at all you are going to use it judicially. But in the case of Nigeria, now we have a lot of loan on us. But there is nothing to show. And our fear is the coming generation, they will not forgive us. They will not forgive us. Any person that finds himself in a ruling class, the coming generation, they will not forgive them. This is a reality. Because at the end of the day, their time will come when debt was accumulated, a huge amount, and there is nothing to show on ground. Look at security, zero. Look at our education, it's going back in a higher gear of reverse. Look at our health sector. There is nothing to show. Look, our pensioners are dying. The so-called senior citizens. There is no, you see, honestly speaking, Hauwa, this issue of loan is terrible. Even the international community, they are not helping matters. You give people loans and they are not doing anything with it. They are pocketing it and you are still approving to them and you are still giving to them. What are you doing? Are they trying to save the country? Or what? But this is our voice. But may Allah help us. But we will inshallah we get out of this problem. No matter what they do, one day, it will mark the end of the administration and things will be corrected by God's willing. We are praying to all Nigerians. It was only Almighty Allah will shower us out of this menace because it is going out of hand. It is terribly bad. Honestly speaking, we are praying for Almighty Allah. I'm going for all Nigerians to engage in prayer. May Allah substitute these wicked rulers with a good one. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
All right, thank you very much, Shatima, for your contribution. It is, as he said, from a place of anger, whereby it is always looked at that is it justified, the borrowing for Nigeria, is it justified? All right, we have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yes, good morning. Thank you for joining Daybreak this morning. What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Comrade Eastern Dependada from Tungamaji.
All right, good morning. What are your thoughts on this issue?
So, borrowing every day in Nigeria, we're even tired of borrowing. What are they doing with the borrowing since they came? They should mention one infrastructure since they came that they have been borrowing money, that they have attached that money to. The last administration, we see what they did. They borrow money so people. You can see from Zubaiya to Komonada, you see their signboard. Go to Lambata, Lampai, you see their signboard. This is the money we are borrowing, and this is what we are doing. You can see railway, Lagos about the expressway. Due to what, since they should mention one project that they have done with the money they are borrowing. They are borrowing money and they are telling it. They promise removing of subsidy. They make money available. And from Kwara State, the money they are giving to government, they are not using it. They are not sharing money into their pocket. And the masses are suffering. Is that the promise they've been supposing made? They say they will make money available from the subsidy. But now they pay to their pocket. And they are now doing another one for the future to be perfect. They should tell God, they should stop borrowing, because the money we have is not enough. It is not it.
But they are just sharing money into their pocket, making assembly. The last this year, but nobody debated. They are pushing and they are continuing selling. So they become okay, that's my take. Thank you, madam.
All right, thank you very much. The question is always, what do they do with that money? There are always allegations of mismanagement of funds, whereby those funds do not go to the specifics and the allocation that they're supposed to go to. They're not supposed to do what they're supposed to in the proposal of those loans that are being gotten or collected from other countries, all these international loans. And
okay, so I think we have another caller, right? Hello, good morning. Thank you so much for calling in. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Good morning, ladies. My name is Aisha Mohammed, and I'm calling from Kurudu, Abuja.
Thank you so much for calling. So what are your thoughts?
Pardon?
What are your thoughts? Please go ahead. We can hear you.
All right. My point is that why is he going to borrow money? Is that the promise he promised us? They say when they remove subsidy, that money will be enough to do everything. They don't need to borrow money. They don't need to do anything. So at the end now, why are they borrowing money? And when they borrow money, they are using it for what? What are they using it for? Tinubu promised us that he is very rich. He is okay. All what he wants is just to lead. And now, where is it he is borrowing after removing the subsidy and other things? Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you so much for calling.
Thank you very much for your contribution. And I've seen that there are lots of, debates and complaints that there was a promise in place whereby if that subsidy is being removed, it will serve all purposes.
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, if there are loans that you go to get, even though there's this loan, the IMF loan that has been paid off, you still, ask those questions. We have a call on the line. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning, Miss Amina. Thank you for calling us.
Hello?
Yes, hello, good morning.
Good morning, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. Thank you, Miss Amina, for calling us.
Thank you.
Yes.
It's most unfortunate that we keep hearing the same story every day, every time from one administration to the other. Like the other speakers say, I think borrowing of money in Nigeria is a tradition. It's not for the purpose of development. And especially this particular government, what have they been using the money they've been borrowing for? There's nothing to show for it. A country where a senator come out openly, shamelessly to tell us that 14 million is just not okay for him. These are people that cannot sacrifice. There's nothing they are doing to their constituency. They collect 14 million every month and even more depending on who you are and your position in the Senate. And they tell us that money is too small. And this same country, almost every 2-3 months, they borrow money. What are they using this money for? Why are they playing with the intelligence of the Nigerians? Why are they making us useless? They should fear God. They should fear God. We have problem in Nigeria. If they borrow this money, all these things is for 2027. They go out, try to buy people, try to buy their way in. It's most unfortunate. There's nothing they use this money for. We should be able to see this thing. When we see and we know what they are doing with it, at least we appreciate them. And even encourage them to do more if there's need for it. But this we are not seeing it. They said that the house I say when a dog we say we are not seeing this thing. We are not seeing it. The government should have fear of God. These people should have fear of God. A country where Senate and House of Rep buy a Jeep, SUV, and over 160, 180 for themselves, and they change the car. How can you be buying furniture every month or every 3 months? For God's sake, what furniture? What are they? What kind of furniture? What is happening to the furniture that they have these things in their allowances every month? The government should think of something to do with them. They should think of how to cut down governance. We have problem. We should think of how to cut governance. You don't allow just few people to be enjoying at detriment of the entire nation. It's most unfortunate. Sometimes when I speak about Nigeria, I just feel like crying. I just pray God will see us through. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for your contribution, Amina. It is always welcome and regarded. With Nigeria requesting, or the federal government, should I say, President Bola Tinubu requesting for funds, loans, for approval of loans from the National Assembly. We have a category of details of what the loan request is all about. We have the loan request, which is $21.5 billion and 2.2 billion euros, where our current debt profile here in Nigeria is 144.67 trillion naira, which is equivalent to $94.23 billion as of December 2024, which is last year. And the projection of debt burden is 162.025 trillion naira, which is a couple of trillions above the current debt profile. So apparently the justification is finding priority projects in infrastructure, agriculture, health, education and security, where they say the objectives are reducing poverty, creating jobs and boosting food security. Some major concerns: increasing debt burden and potential consequences. The debt increase, which is 56.6 trillion naira, increase under President Tinubu's administration as of June 2023 to December 2024. We will have previous debt, which is 87.379 trillion naira as of June 2023. And the current debt as of December 2024 is 144.67 trillion naira. And in relation to the projection of that debt burden, which is shot up to 162.025 trillion naira. When you look at it, all Nigerians are saying is, let us see proof of what you're doing. Let us see it on ground.
That's
let
really
us
the key
have
point.
Accountability. Take us each step of the way. When you say you're borrowing money, we're part of Nigeria. We're part of Nigeria. We are Nigeria. Let us know what is happening.
Okay, so we have another caller on the line, Hauwa. Good morning. Thank you for calling in. What's your name and where you're calling from?
Calling back again.
Thank you for calling
Thank
back,
you for calling back.
Go ahead.
Sincerely speaking, just like I said earlier on, I want to really appreciate Amina. She has really spoken well. I appreciate her, and every time she comes on board on this platform, she's always unique in her speaking. Just like as I said earlier on, the best of man is still in man. The best we can have is not in man. There is no man that is 100% perfect. That is just what I want us to understand. Whether the man is a pastor, whether the man is an imam, a man is still a man. He still has some tendencies of failure in him. So what I want us to understand is that we must not criticize our leaders. God does not say we should criticize them. We should pray for them. Whether we like it or not, they must still go and collect that money. The only thing, we should pray for them, they should use that money judiciously. If we don't pray for them, they will still continue to do the wrong thing that they still doing. Now, I also want to make you understand that. I want us to understand that. Even my very self, I am not perfect. Even Amina is talking, is not perfect. Shetima is not perfect. Just give us an office now. We'll start carrying our brothers and sisters and putting them in a place. So please, the best we can do is to pray for our leaders.
I think we lost Abasin Kong here, but then yes, at the end of the day, we should not always castigate our leaders, but then there needs to be accountability for each and every action they take. There needs to be, you know, a translation into action. Nigerians have to benefit from their choices, because at the end of the day, no matter what it is, they're doing it for Nigerians. But looking back, just last month, as I said earlier, there was a repayment of the $3.4 billion emergency loan secured by from the International Monetary Fund. But one thing that has been celebrated is that payment of that loan. But at the end of the day, when you look at the intricacies of it, we still have $30 million in charges that needs to be paid, in total into $125 million to the IMF until 2029. All right, we have another caller. We have Shatima back. Let us hear from Shatima.
Hello.
Yes, hello Shatima. Thank you for calling back.
Thank you for giving me a second chance.
All right, go ahead.
Honestly speaking, Hauwa, if you look at the table that was on your screen now, I think the amount that borrow, it is enough to make Nigeria semi-Qatar or semi-Dubai, or to create a paradise where Nigerians they can enjoy. But look at the breakdown, look at the amount, but still, our farmers cannot get access to their farms. Our hospital, no drugs. Our education, as I said earlier, there is nothing to show about. Our teacher, our lecturers, up to date, they have been learning. They are going back on strike because of their demands was not reached. So I want people, Nigerians, to understand. As Abasha was saying, we are not clean, honestly. This is true. We are not. Unless, until when we have been tested. But those who have been tested, they have failed. And there is nothing they can stop us from to say that they fail us and they are damn wicked. There is nothing can stop us from saying that. But what I want our Nigerians to know is, these leaders, honestly speaking, they fail us willfully. And you see, our prayers, as Abasha said, we should pray. We are going to pray. But we are praying for their substitute. May Allah change them to the ones who are better, who are good, and who are sincere. To take Nigeria to the promised land. That's the only prayer that we will be doing. But these our present leaders, they don't have any mind of to change or any direction to change. We are just praying for Almighty Allah to change them to a better one. And I am calling Nigeria. 2027 is just around the corner. We have to divorce money politics. Look at the way our country is just going. Look at the amount that Natural TV was so frank showing it on the screen. This money is enough to change the Nigerian lives, but still we are in hungry. We are feeling the pain. Our road has become a death trap. May Allah save us. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Contribution, and as Shatima said, the debt is a lot, and other loans are now in the process of trying to be borrowed. But then at the end of the day, when you look at it, he says we are not seeing any, proof of these loans being taken and their impact in the country. And if you look at it, according to reports, Nigeria is owing a couple of countries. We have China, we have Japan, we have France, India and Germany, and this is according to reports from 2023. We don't know how many countries or international organizations that Nigeria has borrowed, has gotten loans from, and has to pay those debts to them, which is a whole lot of debt. And looking at it, the question is, it always boils down to the everyday Nigerian. How is the everyday Nigerian going to benefit from these loans? Exactly. And at the end of the day, with this proposal, there are a couple of stipulations in there that says, okay, we're using a certain amount, for example, like I think a billion naira, 7 billion naira, 70 billion naira for bonds in order for them to offset the debts, pension debts that are supposed to be paid to pensioners. But then at the end of the day, does it get executed? Do we see it get executed? How does it go?
We've had so many stories of pensions not being paid, and then most of these loans that are being taken are being channeled. Some of them, some good amount of that is being channeled to paying pensions. But then at the end of the day, you get to find out that not everyone gets their money that they worked for over the years. And it's so pathetic because each day we get to hear the news. We hear Nigeria is looking out to borrow a certain amount of money from different countries. And, apart from the FCT, which I would say really that good infrastructure is going on, I don't know about other parts of the state. And, well, we really, really hope that if this particular amount has been approved, we're going to see changes. So we have another caller on the line. Good morning. Thank you so much for calling in. What's your name and where you're calling from, and kindly share your thoughts.
Good morning. This is Elvis calling from Buhari, Abuja.
Good morning.
Good morning. I want to make a little contribution to the discussion that is on the table. You see, there is nothing wrong in an individual, an organization, or a country to borrow money, in as much as the money will be put into judicious use. Nations borrow money and things are done with it and people are happy. But you see, Nigeria is a country that is blessed with all the resources you can think of, both human and otherwise. But there's this problem of followership and leadership. So the followership should not be exonerated in any case. Most time, sentiment, tribalism, and other prejudice tendency come to play. When a particular person is in government, if it's not from a particular set of people, everybody tends to condemn him, whether he's doing good or wrong. But if it is somebody from their own divide, people keep quiet. Some people are calling for prayer so that the government can succeed, and some people are saying no need for prayer. I remember there was a time when Buhari was the president of Nigeria, when people say he was not doing right, and people say we should just pray. But this time around now, some people are saying we don't need to pray. I want to advise that all we need to do is to support the government in the way we can. Do our own part as individuals. But when we want to, take sides, support these people, is not from my divide, this one, let's support him, whether he's doing right or wrong. It will not help Nigeria. Yeah. So I want to say, the government is doing well. If you come to Abuja, come and see the infrastructure development that is happening. It does not happen. 8 years past, nothing happened. It was as if there was no government in the FCT. But with this present administration, come and see development that is happening. Everywhere you see development. So I want to encourage us, let's give time. This government is just barely 2 years or so. Let's give them time and pray for the best, wish for the best, hope for the best. And I think we will get to that place. God helping us. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much for your contribution. Absolutely. We will be taking a couple of WhatsApp messages that we have from you today. We have a message, there's no name there, but then It says, what matters most is the justification, which is not going to be, especially to us, the Abuja Aborigines, who are regarded as a third-class citizens, in spite sacrificing our ancestral home for the capital city of the country. Going back to the question, borrowing has always been a nebulous term that have gotten a strident call by one president to other over time. I pray may Allah the Exalted save Nigeria from Nigerians. That is it. May God save us all.
Okay, so we have on foreign loans, we have Nandi Bete, and it states that it's baffling that after removing fuel subsidy, which is making life virtually unbearable for Nigeria, the federal government keeps borrowing money all over the place. What is being done with the subsidy funds? The issue is, after declaring not long ago that all our loans have been repaid, government is still taking, or rather government is still talking of borrowing in billions from foreign countries. Must we remain a debtor nation? Meanwhile, there's nothing to show for all the loans except perhaps the presidential jets and the luxury SUVs being used by the National Assembly people on our very bad roads. This reckless borrowing is only mortgaging the future of our children. For the sake of posterity, please stop taking loans. This is Nandi Bete Ogojasi from Cross River State. Thank you so much for that, for dropping your thoughts on WhatsApp.
All right, that is all we have for the WhatsApp messages on this segment. Thank you for all your contributions. Thank you for getting involved.